Look at this guy.
Oh.
Thank God, Tom, because we were going down a rabbit hole there.
It was getting weird around here, Tom. You saved us. It was getting weird over here.
Okay.
Well, Tom, how do you feel about just showing what you were doing?
Tom, how do you drink an iced coffee without a straw? Like when you go buy an iced coffee, how do you drink it without a straw?
What do you mean without a straw?
Would you just use a straw?
Just like that?
Like a man. And Tom, I know you're the champ, you know, but you like a little drink here and there. If you were, for example, to get a Moscow Mule, to get a vodka tonic, whatever the case may be, would you hold the glass with a little tiny straw?
No, mate. That's fruity. You can't be doing that. That's a bit too.
It makes
fruity.
my teeth cold, so I use a straw.
No, you can't do it.
He
mate.
said no.
Exactly. I rest my case. Tom, thank you very much for your time, mate. Always a pleasure to have you on here. Of course, we haven't spoke since your triumphant return to Manchester, UFC 304, Curtis Blaydes. I mean, could that have gone any better?
Not really. No, I mean, I'm always, first and foremost for me, like the performance is very important. Like ultimately, I'm a mixed martial artist and I want to do my best at that. I mean, it was a bit messy, but it was very early in the fight, weren't it? We were still both finding our range by the time I caught him with the whatever I caught him with. But I mean, I would have liked it to be a little bit cleaner, but mate, I ain't complaining too much. You know what I mean? It wasn't perfect, but it was close.
Yeah. So what have you been doing since? Have you been celebrating, or are you taking a little bit of time off, spending it with your family, or did you get right back at it?
Nah, mate. But look, I've even got the headphones on now. I've just been for a run.
Oh.
I'm hungry, man. Like I had a little bit of time off. Went to Spain for a week. I've been chilling out a little bit, but mate, I'm trying to be the best heavyweight of all time, mate. And like when you're at the top, when you're like number one, it's the hardest to keep that position, in my opinion. So I'm like more hungry than ever.
Yeah, no, of course you can't take it for granted, and we'll get to all the John Jones stuff in just a minute. But let's not shimmy past what you did in Manchester, mate, because that was phenomenal. There was a lot of pressure on you there. Curtis, rightly or wrongly, had a win over you. He was stylistically on paper supposed to be a dangerous matchup, and yeah, okay, you got clipped once or twice. But as my old boxing coach Mark Kinney used to always say, you don't go in the rain without getting wet. You don't go up against world-class opponents without getting clipped, you know. But you took it like a man. You dropped him with the jab and you got the finish. And I spoke to you at the weigh-ins the day before, and we were talking about, you know, your sleeping schedule and stuff like that. How was the sleep schedule? Because I saw what you said. You hardly slept, right?
Oh, mate, I royally fucked it up, you know. Really bad. Really bad. No, you know, I thought honestly, by the time that the fight came around, I thought I had it like nailed on. Perfect. I was on US time successfully for over a week. And I've obviously fought in the US. I fought in a lot of different places in the world or different time zones. And usually for me, it takes a week, do you know, at least a week before I start feeling normal. So I gave myself like about 10 days where I was staying up till like 4 or 5 a.m. UK time, which was around the time I was going to be fighting. And honestly, I had it perfect. I started getting to the point where it was like 12, 1, 2 a.m. and I weren't even getting tired. Do you know what I mean? I was absolutely fine. And the night before, so the night of the weigh-ins, the night before the fight, I was like, right, this is great. It's almost like I'm fighting on Sunday. It's almost like usually I'll obviously fight around midnight Saturday night, but I was fighting around 5, 6 a.m. Sunday morning. So I was like, right, I'm going to go to bed regular time the night of the weigh-ins. Like the night before my fight, I'm going to go to bed regular time, like 12 o'clock. I'm going to wake up around 7, 8, breakfast, little workout maybe. And I was staying like in a different hotel that had like a sweet pool, sauna, jacuzzi, all that good stuff. So I was like, right, little workout, breakfast, and I'm going to just spend the day in bed sleeping. And I'm going to wake up and I'm going to feel amazing. So anyway, I did it. I did exactly what I planned. Woke up around 7, 8 o'clock, breakfast, did a little workout. I was feeling amazing, actually. Did a little swim, jacuzzi, little bit of a sauna. I didn't want to do too much, obviously, because I didn't want to be too tired. And then Went back to the
Choose listen to this guy.
Oh,
My God,
mate! I was feeling fantastic. Got back to the hotel, put my head on the pillow, and all of the negative thoughts just started running through my mind, as they do on fight day. Do you know what I mean? Thinking, I fought this guy before. Last time I fought him, I got injured. You know, he's got a win over me. I've got to get it back. Oh, he's the best wrestler in the division. He's knocked this guy out. He's knocked that guy out. I don't want to get knocked out in front of 25,000 of my home fans. And this just, I mean, you guys know what it's like. I'm preaching to the point. Like the thoughts just build and build and build and build. Like on a regular day, like now, I can cancel it out, no problem. But when you've got that pressure on you and you're feeling like that, it's just like the slightest little thought can just set you off, and it just snowballs and snowballs. And I just ended up lying there for like 4 or 5 hours, not being able to sleep. And then, honestly, by the time I fought, so I fought around 6 a.m., 5:30, 6 a.m., I was awake for nearly 24 hours.
That's crazy. Well, I'm really curious about this. I asked you this, I think, the week, like during that fight week, but it's a hard question to answer when you're about to do it. But now that you've already been through it, what were you most worried about with Curtis Blaydes? Like, what was that one thing that would keep you up? In
all honesty, every fight, I really don't want to get beat up in front of millions of people. I really don't want to. But in this particular circumstance, Curtis is just so experienced and mixes up his grappling and his stand-up so well that is what kept me up. In the heavyweight division, we're not as well-rounded as the guys in the other divisions, being honest. Like a flyweight, a bantamweight, whatever, like them guys are elite everywhere. In the heavyweight division, a lot of even the top guys are still a lot better at one thing than they are at another thing. On the contrary to that, Curtis Blaydes, he's fucking fantastic everywhere. So just me having to worry about a lot of different things, as opposed to usually I'm fighting one guy and I go, right, this is where he's good. This is where, like, for example, Pavlovich, very, 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 very heavy hands. There's not a lot much that we've seen, at least, that he's really good at. So I had to worry about him steaming across the octagon at me, throwing absolute haymakers and knocking me unconscious. That's predominantly what I had to worry about with Pavlovich. Whereas with Curtis Blaydes, it was a whole, you know, he's had so many fights and done so many good things in his different fights that the guy's really good everywhere. So I was worrying about all that.
I mean, that's really honest of you, Tom, because, and without disrespecting the entire heavyweight division, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, right? That's what makes you so different. That's what makes you so successful. And everyone said beforehand, don't just sit here and kiss Tom's ass. But this is why I've always thought you're going to do so well, because you are super athletic and well-rounded. And as you said, the majority of the heavyweight division isn't, like we saw Jorginho and Taito Avasa at the weekend. You know what I mean? They haven't got many other paths to victory other than that one that we saw, you know? So anyway, so congratulations on that. Well done. Beast Farm. You said you've been training. You were just on holiday, you little liar, in Spain. Right, so don't give me this 24/7, 365 bullshit. You were just living it up in Spain. You know you were. But I want to ask you about this.
I was living it up.
Yeah, you weren't running every day in Spain.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, good. Thank God. You got to enjoy yourself, Tom. Get Joe Biden out of there. Stipe Miocic, get him out of there. It needs to be Joe Biden.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Anthony. I know he's your friend. I'm just trying to get a fight. Yeah,
it's fine. I didn't even when we talked about it on here like last week, I was like, okay, that was a pretty good line. I
mean, I never have anything against anyone personally. It's just a sport for me. I'm just having a laugh. Do you know what I mean? But
it was good.
Am I right though? Am I right or not? Because what the fuck's going on? What is going on? Like,
you haven't heard anything about that fight happening or anything?
I've heard nothing. So, like, they want me to be a backup fighter for it, but why are you giving a guy who's 42, however old he is? I mean, I completely understand, mate. I have the utmost respect for Steve Bay and what he's done in his career, and John Jones, on the contrary to what people might think. Respect them guys more than I can even put into words. but they don't fucking deserve to be fighting for the heavyweight title. Them guys are not the top of the heavyweight division right now. Let's not, Dana White and everybody else can say whatever they want. Them guys aren't the best heavyweights in the world right now. And I'm not saying that they've not had amazing careers, because I idolize them guys. I want to have a career like that. That's what I'm aiming to do with my life, is what they've done. But they're not the best right now. Right now, they're definitely not the best. So let's stop talking all this bullshit like they are.
So recently, John Jones came out, and you saw it because I sent it to you, and it did the rounds online, and I wanted to get your response. Jones on an Instagram comment said he's going to retire at the end of the year, right? And I was very curious. And you text me back, and I said, can I say this publicly? And you said, yeah, go ahead. And I didn't, because by the time you'd responded, I didn't want to give our personal dialogue on a YouTube video. But I said, oh, Tom, look at this. John says he's retiring. Do you know what his response was, Anthony?
What was it?
He's a bit of a fanny, isn't he? Which I thought was nice. You didn't go scorched earth. You didn't talk shit. You're just like, oh, he's a bit of a fanny, isn't he?
All right, well, I stand by that. I stand by it. But well, John Jones, he was praying that I would lose that fight against Curtis Blaydes, mate. Praying that I would. Because there is nowhere that you can find publicly, nowhere, him saying that he will fight me. It doesn't exist. I challenge anybody watching this interview to go and find a statement, a quote, a video where John Jones is saying that he'll fight me after he's fought Stipe. It doesn't exist. The guy's smart. And, mate, the guy, we know he's a bit overweight these days. The guy was sat there, mate, with the Cheeto fingers or whatever, the Doritos on his fingers, with his iPhone in hand, waiting for me to get knocked out so he can start tweeting about it. Let's be honest. And since I won that fight, he's gone completely quiet. And he'll continue to go completely quiet about me until he retires, because there's no way on earth that he's going to fight me. Not a chance. I will retire John Jones without even fighting him.
So, I mean, wow. That's like one of the coldest fucking statements I've ever heard in my whole life. But
that is sick. I will retire John Jones without even fighting him. That's the thumbnail. Go on.
How frustrating is that? That's got to be the most goddamn frustrating thing in the world, because if he goes in and wins and then retires, of course, that's great for you, because then you're immediately becoming the undisputed champion. But just like people did to DC, like they've done in the past, that it's always going to be, well, he didn't win it from John, which is so unfair to you. And I think we talked about this last week or the week before, Mike, where I think it's super unfair, and it's got to be annoying. But are you? I guess as part of you just like, okay, just hurry up and do it and get out of here so I can move on, or are you still holding on to some sort of chance you can convince him?
You know, the way I look at it, I'm the best heavyweight in the world, and I'm not getting my credit for it. They're holding the belt hostage, mate, and John Jones is loving it. He's loving the fact that Dana White is getting on every interview possible. Freaking hell, you talk about something, you're talking about bantamweights, and Dana White flips it back and starts talking about how good John Jones is. I'm like, mate, if he's that good, let's fight. Like, I'm the number one heavyweight in the world right now. Let's put it on the line and let's see who the man is, me or John. It's simple as that. It's not. I think a lot of people get it twisted about me disrespecting John and all that stuff. Mate, there's plenty of ammo out there for me to get online and disrespect John Jones. There's plenty of ammo that people know about John Jones and his personal life. And I ain't going there. I'm not about that. I'm the best fighter in the world, best heavyweight in the world right now. And John Jones isn't. And I'm willing to prove it. And he's not. That's what I'm about. I'm about being the best heavyweight in the world. As I said, it's well documented that John Jones isn't the best person in the world, isn't the best human being in the world. But I ain't going there. I don't want to go there. I don't want to make it personal. I want to be known as the best heavyweight in the world because I believe I am. And if he believes that he is, let's fight about it and settle it. Simple as that.
Well, Tom, I can clearly see that you're fired up about that. And I do like to see it. And I understand why. And I understand exactly what you're saying, because you're right. There is so much history over the years with John Jones. You haven't touched any of it with a barge pole. And that would be like the immediate thing that a lot of people would go to. And that's, again, why I respect you as a human being for not doing that. And even at UFC 3 or 4, when you won, you just went, hi, John. You didn't give it the big one. You didn't get on the microphone and talk shit, call him a coward or any of that. You still kept it respectful. And I think that's why ultimately people look at you and, you know, you have got a large support on your side. And a lot of people kind of also frustrated with your situation. So we spoke in Manchester briefly, and you mentioned it just there. So you're going to be the backup fighter for the fight between Stipe and John. Is that confirmed?
Yes, mate, that's confirmed. And I will jump in on 1 hour's notice if I have to and beat either of them.
So my question for that, though, is, do you, and I don't blame you, mate, and I don't doubt you for a split second. Look at what you did to Sergey on 2 weeks' notice with an injury. But is there a little part? Is there a slight risk? And I'm just asking for the sake of conversation, that because you're not the guaranteed fighter, you're only the backup fighter, that you don't train quite as hard. And then maybe you get stepped up last second, last minute, and you've kind of half-arsed it in camp?
Absolutely not. I am not one. Mate, I will be more prepared for that fight, if it happens or not, than I was for my last fight. Every training camp, mate, I'm getting more and more mature. I'm learning more and more. I'm getting better. I know how to prepare more. I know who to train with and what to train and how my body feels and all that stuff. And mate, I have never, ever, ever been as focused in my life as I am right now. Like, I will, as I said, mate, I will step in, put the gloves on, take my shirt off and fight these guys on an hour's notice if I need to.
Which guy would mean more to you to beat? If you take the belt out of it, take the title belt out of it, which one would mean more?
They're probably pretty equal in that respect. As I said before, them guys are what I'm trying to do with my life. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to be on their level of status. Do you know what I mean? I want to be one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time.
Who do you look up to more?
Well, I look up to Stipe more because don't make me say it, Anthony. Don't make me say it.
Well, no, even
say what? Say what? I want to know.
Well,
I don't mean like personally.
Let the man speak. Okay. I want to hear this.
If there's anything about drug tests going on, then, I
didn't even think of that.
I wasn't thinking of that either.
That's a bit of an asterisk next to your name. Do you know what I mean? If there's a drug test going on, same as you know, when people talk about Anderson Silva being the best of all time, he definitely was, but there was definitely some other stuff going on there.
Yeah, there's some questions.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. I've always said that I thought that your style and your game is the next evolution of what Stipe kind of was. Like, great boxer. He's for his size, he's fast, crazy power in his hands, fairly mobile, can wrestle, you know, like you're the next evolution of that. You're just, I've always said, I thought you're the way better version of Stipe if you add in the jiu-jitsu and the kicking game and stuff like that. So I thought maybe Stipe would be the guy that you probably would align more with in terms of just watching him fight.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, I don't know either guy personally, but Stipe seems more my type of human being.
He is.
John.
Tom, one thing that I'm picking up here is because, you know, obviously you're very happy with your success. You're confident in who you are and comfortable with who you are and where you're at. You became the interim champion. You've just defended the interim champ. But now it's really seeming like this is now pissing you off. Whereas before, you were so, don't take this the wrong way. You see, you were so happy and grateful for the situation that you were in. You know, but now it seems that it's pissing you off that you're not getting a chance to unify the belts and truly say, I am the undisputed. Am I accurate in thinking that?
Yes, you are. It is pissing me off. I don't like to fucking complain because everyone's like, oh, you're crying about this, blah, blah, blah. Mate, there's 6 guys in the top 10 who I finished in the first round. Just let that sink in for a minute.
Oh, geez.
6 guys in the top 10 have finished in the first round. I just beat the number 1 contender, who is Sorgan, and the number 1 contender before him, who was Sergey Pavlovich, in a combined time of 2 minutes and 7 seconds. 2 fights. So it's like, fucking John's not doing that. He beat one guy, Cyril Gane, who didn't want to be there 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's walking around calling himself the real champion. Granted, he's having an amazing career. He's been a champion most of his career. Not a heavyweight. I'm the guy at heavyweight. Not him. Me. So I want to be recognised as the best. I've got the real belt. I'm the one defending. He's defending against a 42-year-old Stipe Miocic with 1,000,000 miles on the clock. If you want to be the real guy, you have to fight me.
I tell you what, Tom, this is the first time I've seen you like this.
I like it.
I like it. But I tell you, I don't want to be stuck down a dark alley with Tom when he's had 6 Stellas and I've pissed him off because I've said something like a little bit wrong that he doesn't like in an interview. And I get this version of Tom in my face because whenever I'm around Tom, I'm always like, come on, Tom, I'll take you. I'll single leg you. This version of Tom, I'm like, fuck that. I'm out of it.
Security.
How was the holiday, Tom?
Oh, it was fantastic. You know, it was good. It was really, really good. We just got a villa and stuff. And just chilled out, man. We didn't do nothing.
Where'd you go?
Oh, just went to Spain. Yeah. Just
it's a big country. Where in Spain?
Yeah, it was like near Valencia. It was beautiful, man. Really, really nice area. It was just everything was chilled and nice. It's perfect.
Given that we're all working class people, and fighting gives us so much. And of course, now, Tom, you're at the top of the sport and you've just got that final tiny little bit, that little formality to take care of, whether it's Jones or Stipe, but you're the heavyweight champion of the world. With that comes great reward as well. How does it feel now? And I know you're not a materialistic guy, you're just not, but to now have financial security and to know that the path in the future is nice and rosy and you can give your family the things that they need and take care of them the way that a man always wants to. How rewarding is that for you, Tom?
That for me is probably, it's one of the best bits, if not the best bit. Do you know what I mean? Ultimately, I really, unlike a lot of guys at the top, at the real top of the division, like I really actually enjoy fighting. Like I really love the process of training, getting ready for it, the mental side of it. I love it. I love being at an event, waiting to get your hands wrapped and waiting to walk out there and fight and not knowing what's going to, like, I love that. But as you said, the financial security for sort of someone like me, who I never had nothing, like in terms of money and all that stuff. Like you said, I'm from a working class place with a working class family, and there's nothing that, it's never been, it was never what was driving me, but now I've got it. It's amazing. Do you know what I mean? Just to be in a position to, like you say, I don't really have to really worry about money anymore, which is amazing, because for so long, mate, when I was like on the come up to just to get to the gym, like I had to worry about how am I going to like put fuel in my car to drive to the gym for a long time. Mm-hmm. For a long time, I had to do that. Even like when I was in the UFC, like first couple of fights in the UFC, I was still like worrying about, am I going to pay my rent this month? And am I going to afford to put fuel in the car to go to the gym? And am I going to afford to, eat healthy food? Healthy food's expensive. Mm-hmm. Am I going to afford to buy a protein shake and get a massage and do all the stuff that comes with being a professional athlete? And also, I had by the time I was 25, I had 3 kids. I didn't have no money. I have fucking no money at all. Zero. Zero.
No, mate, like a lot of us, I mean, for me, it was only about the money, because I was sick of having nothing, sick of having stupid, petty arguments with my wife every time she'd go shopping and spend too much and buy like the brand name stuff and all the rest of it. And then the bills come in. And then, of course, not being able to buy the kids nice clothes and go on holidays and all the rest of it. Has it sunk in though, Tom? Because for me, for a while, I still felt it was a long time before I allowed myself to kind of like, you know what? I've made it. I've done it.
Yeah, I think it's still sinking in for me personally. In all honesty though, I don't really live too different than what I did before. I've got a nicer house and that, and like I'm more, I don't have as many money worries or anything like that, which is a big worry, of course, especially when you've got children. But I just basically live the same, really. I don't do anything like bougie or spectacular. Do you know what I mean? I do the same shit every day as I did before. So, but it's nice when I do get to sit back and think of it, which is not very often. You know, we're busy people, aren't we? Everyone's got shit to do. Everyone's got kids to run around for. We've got to be at this event and that event, and then train twice a day and do all the rest of it. I don't get much chance to sit back and think, but when I do, it's pretty nice. Yeah. Beautiful.
What's the one thing that like maybe you want to splurge on and do some, I don't know. I call it rapper shit. You know, rappers get rich and famous and they buy something ridiculous. What's like that one thing that maybe you want to and you haven't pulled the trigger on?
Do you know what? I've got a nice car. I've got a Range Rover. It's really, really nice. But I was thinking recently, shall I just buy a new G-Wagon?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Well, wait. In fact, don't do it.
Go buy it. Go buy it.
I was going to say, look, listen, right? The amount of money I've wasted on bloody stupid cars over the years, right, that I shouldn't have done. But you're the heavyweight champ. You're probably making millions of dollars per fight. So you know what? Treat yourself.
I don't know. You know what? I've still got that thing. Like, I have the same friends as I had when I was 10 years old.
You should.
If I started cruising about in like a pimped up Jeep, everyone would just be like, "What a dickhead! What is he doing?"
That sounds just like my friend. You piece of shit! Get that stupid car out of here.
No, dude. So I remember I had a training camp. I forget. Rampage Jackson came to Clitheroe with me, and we had to pick up the kids from primary school. So me, Rampage, and Czech Congo went to my local, and there's not a lot of black guys in Clitheroe. Do you know what I mean? And they're like, Rampage has got the chains on. Czech Congo's gigantic. Do you know what I mean? We pulled up at the outside. You should see these schools, Anthony. You can't picture it. Little Victorian, like prim and proper, like little school in a village, you know, in North England. I pulled up in some fancy, I think, was it a G-Wagon, like a Range Rover or something, with Quinton Rampage Jackson and Czech Congo, and people, and we got the hip hop
trying to pick up kids.
We're picking up my kids, and it was like, who's this dickhead these days? Look at him, right? Tom, listen, we've taken up enough of your time, mate. Thank you very much. I'm proud of you, Tom. Congratulations on all the success. Genuinely.
Thank you, gentlemen. Hope all goes well with the new show and stuff. I'll be tuning in. I'll be tuning in.
Awesome.
Oh, the YouTube stuff, Tom. You're smashing that out of the park as well.
Yeah.
Well, make sure you tune in this Thursday, Tom Aspinall official. It's going off. It's going off this Thursday.
What are you doing? Are you slapping back? What is it?
Okay.
You just tune in, Mike. This Thursday, 8 p.m. UK time.
Wait.
There we go.
Get out of here.
All right.
See you, Tom.